Hey guys, so Game Awards or Spike Game Awards, whatever you want to call it, Jeff Keighley's awards for games is currently on, or at least it's over now, but it was recently on, and in that they showed apparently the world's first Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay, which is not really the first though, because we saw the PlayStation 4 Pro 4K gameplay. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. But apparently this gameplay is supposed to be really awesome. So of course, like I told you guys, I am going to react to it because I am a huge Mass Effect fanboy. Actually, my hair, which you can see, is a lot shorter, but it's kind of terrible right now. I was in the middle of getting a haircut, and I got the notification that this gameplay was posted. And so I said, look, I gotta go. We can finish my hair later, but I gotta go watch this now. In case you didn't think that I was a big enough Mass Effect fanboy. There you go. So my hair is not done whatsoever. But, yeah. I decided that, screw it, I can get it done later. I need to watch this right now. Let's get into it, shall we? That's my excuse for my crazy hair, okay? Alright. Let's go. Let's watch it. I'm very excited. Oh, baby. Okay. It's
Mass
pretty.
Effect Andromeda is the next generation of action RPG.
Already have chills. I'm freaking out.
No way this is home.
Brand new epic sci-fi adventure set in a vast explorable galaxy.
Okay. Yo, I got
You are the
goosebumps,
Pathfinder,
guys.
part explorer, part soldier, part guide.
Okay.
And it's your mission to find a new home for humanity.
New home for humanity, so that's what we thought it was going to be. Whoa, there's the galaxy map! Yo.
But in Andromeda, resources are scarce, worlds are hazardous or outright uninhabitable. Every planet has its own story. On this one, warring outlaw factions fight over every available scrap.
Oh shit,
You
dude,
can make
the
new allies
goosebumps are
or
so
enemies.
strong right
The
now.
choice is yours.
Not too shabby for folk who got kicked
Whoa,
out. of
so there's
station
Turians and
without a
Krogan.
Show for it.
All I see
Confirmed.
is the trail of bodies they left behind.
Is that the female character there?
Sam, tell
Yep,
me about
okay.
Sloan Kelly.
Before joining the initiative as head of Nexus Security, Miss Kelly served in the Alliance with a nearly spotless record.
Nearly?
She was involved in multiple altercations with other officers.
A hothead. Great.
So they're in Andromeda Galaxy, but there's a lot of other, like, humans and Turians and Krogan and
What
stuff?
brings a pathfinder to our humble port?
That's
Van
interesting.
Terev. Name ring any bells?
What's he to you? And don't lie to me.
Whoa!
Point me to where you're holding him and there won't be any trouble.
It's
There
different!
won't be.
Hey, dude.
Drop it! Now! You first.
Get out, or I'll put you down.
These worlds
The
are
lip
big, so
syncing
for the sake
isn't
of time, we're going to speed
great.
up our adventure.
But it's still early.
There are many paths to follow on this planet, and you'll need everything at your disposal
The driving
to survive.
actually looks
Whether it's
decent.
the six-wheel drive Nomad, which protects you from hazards and enemies, or the scanning and analysis tools to help you interpret everything you discover.
Okay, interesting.
Look for anything that might lead us to the killer.
The
The
key.
tracks make it look like an ambush.
Fits the Rokar profile. It's a start.
Angaran blood. Matches your Rokar theory, Reyes.
Keep scanning. We need hard evidence.
In a dangerous alien
CSI!
galaxy desperate for resources,
Mass Effect
conflict
CSI
is
edition.
inevitable. But you'll have access to futuristic
Whoa.
weapons, gear, and powers to help you in your fight for a new home.
What? What the fuck? What? Oh, it looks like an MMO. What the hell? I don't know if I like this. It looks like an MMO, dude. Woo! So that's what, Vanguard? Looks like Vanguard. They did biotic charge. I don't know how I feel about this. This looks straight up MMO-ish. That guy glitched after they hit him. Looks a little bullet spongy.
Though you start out with a ship and the Nomad, Almost everything else you need, you'll have to find, steal, or craft yourself.
Steal? Steal? You can be an actual bad person?
And that's critical to your survival. These worlds have many dangers, from environmental hazards to hostile wildlife.
No Man's Sky! No Man's Sky, we're gonna be spending hours collecting shit. I don't really... Everything looks so bullet spongy. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. What the fuck? That engineer, you can shoot fire out of your hands now? What? Oh, yo! That was awesome. That was like a weird version of Pole. I just added in a bunch of death animations for you.
A new galaxy awaits.
Huh.
How far will you go?
Okay. Captured in engine, it said at the end there. Yeah, we'll mute it. But it did say captured in engine if we pause it here. Even though it only shows it for like half a millisecond. Says captured in engine representative of game experience. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but I mean, I guess I should say that if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I don't give a shit about the combat. I don't give a shit if the combat's good or the combat is bad. That's not why I play Mass Effect. I don't go into Mass Effect. I'll just have this playing in the background muted. But I don't play Mass Effect for the combat. I do feel that Mass Effect 3 had good combat. I was one of the people who thought that Mass Effect 3 had good combat. It was a lot better than Mass Effect 2. But this looks very MMO-ish. You know, you have your skills, which is similar to the other Fallout games, but the health bars, which is also in other Mass Effect games, but it just looks different. Like the way that they went with the UI with the health bar over the enemies, it looks similar to like The Division. It's giving me like a Division vibe, which the thing that I hated about The Division was the fact that everything was a fucking bullet sponge. But this stuff looks really cool. This whole situation, you know, with walking around in a... They said that every planet is like this. Like, every planet has its own, you know, storylines and side quests and people. I don't know if I believe that, because I remember that when Mass Effect 2 came out, and Mass Effect 1, actually, both of them, they said pretty much the same thing, but like we know in Mass Effect 1, it wasn't... you could land on planets, yes, but it was all basically the exact same planet. And then in Mass Effect 2, and if we just take a look at that speech wheel here, you can see that it looks fairly similar. So I'm guessing that before in the Mass Effect series, you had your top right choice. That's always going to be the Paragon choice, so that's the good guy thing to say. And typically it will give you Paragon points. And then the bottom right would have the Renegade option. We know that Paragon and Renegade are not in this game. They're not called Paragon and Renegade, but, I mean, just looking at these options, I'll be honest with you, that's a nicer thing. Get over yourself. That's a dick thing to say, you know what I mean? So, and it's interesting because typically, in the Mass Effect games, you would have the top option, that's Paragon, or the top right. The bottom right, that's Renegade, and then in the middle was kind of something that it was a middle ground, you know? Sometimes it would give you Paragon points, sometimes it would give you Renegade points. And then everything on the left side was always something that would not really further the conversation, but it would give you more information. And So it's interesting because if you say none of your business, then you would assume that kind of stops the conversation, whereas the stuff on the left side isn't supposed to stop the conversation. It's supposed to, just give you more information. Same thing with let's cut to the chase. So it's a little interesting how they're choosing to do that, but overall it does look fairly similar. This bar is really interesting. I'm like the head in the middle and stuff like that. I guess that's supposed to say what you're thinking, I guess. But that's interesting. That's cool. This whole stuff is what I like, though. This stuff that I'm seeing here is really fantastic. It doesn't look like it's the biggest, place to walk around. It looks like a hub city, It doesn't look like there's a ton of places to walk around and go in every store and talk to every person, but that's not what I'm expecting. It does look like it has more of an MMO feel to it, though, which I don't know if I'm going to like. The idea that you can land on planets if you want to, and the side quests and stuff like that. And the combat is the big thing. Like, if we skip to the combat, this whole stuff is cool, Mass Effect CSI or whatever, that's cool. Like you guys probably know, I'm going into forensics, so, that's cool. Sure, I like forensic stuff, whatever. But all of this, it just looks very strange to me. You can see that even a regular raider is taking a lot of shots. This anarchist, he seems to be quite a bit harder to fight. But this is definitely a vanguard right here. They're using a shotgun. They are using charge, as you can see. There's charge right there, and then the enemy kind of just gets stuck and glitches out. That's a really cool ability. It's like a force field of some sort, which is awesome. Looks like there's a jump button now, which a lot of people have been requesting forever, is that you could jump. I don't really feel like you needed to in the previous Mass Effect games, but you can definitely jump now. It looks like you have some sort of jetpacks somewhere. Looks like there is gear here with stats on it, which is kind of making me feel like it is more of an MMO. Of course it's not an MMO because there's not multiplayer, so it's not a massive multiplayer, but I'm just saying that it looks like it feels like an MMO. You know what I mean? Similar to like how Destiny feels like an MMO, even though it's really not. But anyway, so there's gear. The gear gives you percentage increases, it seems. It looks like this has some sort of slot in it that's empty, so maybe that'll be sort of like runes or gems from other RPGs that you can slot into your gear and get extra benefits. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that the combat will be fine. Hopefully there isn't a lot of bullet spongy stuff, like this thing that pops out. I mean, look at that. You're doing practically no damage to it. We could guess that maybe you're not supposed to be doing damage to it because this is like a demo version of it and they wanted to show off the animation where you die to it. So maybe they just made it have a lot of health so it would kill you or something like that for the demo. But it's interesting, right? And you can see the movement is also kind of cool. There's some dashing and stuff like that to make it so you get out of the way of the enemies and stuff. So interesting is the word that I've used a lot because I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I dislike it. It's just interesting. It's different. This looks really cool. It looks like an engineer. Maybe that's the new version of Incinerate, which is really, really cool. I mean, I could just pick this trailer apart and go frame by frame and just analyze everything because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, a huge Mass Effect nerd. So, but I will spare you guys that because I know the last time that I did a Mass Effect video, I was reacting to a 6-minute long video and it was like a 25-minute long reaction because I was stopping and I was talking about everything. But it looks, you guessed it, interesting. Looks like they're changing a lot of stuff. They're changing things around. I am interested why there are humans and Turians and Krogans in this new galaxy when you would assume that if you're in a new galaxy, it's going to be different life forms. Everything will be different life forms except for the people from the Milky Way who traveled there. So we don't know if those other Krogans and Turians and stuff like that were on this hub world we don't know if all of these other Krogans and humans and stuff like that are... This looks like a new race right here. This is a completely new race, whatever this thing is. So it's good to see that there are new alien races. Because that's completely new. Looks like this guy in the background is completely new. This dude's new. So there are new races, but you can see that that's a Krogan. That's a Krogan. So there are a lot of familiar things, and I am curious why they are in this other galaxy when it was supposed to just be these people, you know? It was supposed to just be these main characters. I also like the fact that they're showing the female protagonist, because typically in at least Mass Effect 1 through 3, the female protagonist was the better option. It was just better voice casted, or voice acted, sorry. If you disagree, that's fine. Oh, whoa! Look at that. I missed that for a second there. I mean, we can go frame by frame on this, but you can see right there, it says R1 to disarm, and it has a sort of red aura around it, which means, like you guys probably know, in Mass Effect games, as scenarios are happening, you have the choice to do Paragon and Renegade actions if you press a button quickly. And that could be something such as, if someone's holding a gun to you, taking their gun and shooting them as a renegade option, or maybe just calming everybody down as a Paragon option. But it looks like this is one of those where, you know, it's a renegade action. You press R1 to disarm them. So, interesting. I missed that the first time around, but it looks like it was only a couple frames. So, I don't think that they really wanted you to see too much of it. But, yeah, I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I just want the game already. Like I said, I don't play Mass Effect games for the combat, so even though I am a little skeptical about the combat, the driving looks great, the speech looks great, the writing looks great, the quests look interesting, side quests, I'm assuming that this is a side quest, looks interesting, and I've said the word interesting 5 million times, and my apologies for that, but oh well. I never promised you that I would have a large vocabulary in this video. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. It looks good. I just want to play it right now, and we will see. We will see what happens. That was Concussive Shot, by the way, if you go back. Look, I told you I could freaking go over this stuff like crazy, but this is Concussive Shot. This is the new Concussive Shot. You shot it at him, and you can see down here is the symbol for Concussive Shot from the other Mass Effect games. I told you, I could go frame by frame on this thing and just, like, break down every single skill and all of that, but I won't. I won't. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the crazy hair. I'm gonna go back and get my haircut finished, because that's something that I need to do. It doesn't look that bad, but it's messed up. It's messed up, and I decided to get it fairly short, because of the fact that a lot of people have been asking me my gender. They're like, hey, are you a guy or a girl? So I'm gonna take that as my hair is too long, if people are mistaking me for a girl. So now it's short, so hopefully we don't have that issue. Hopefully I look like a guy. Maybe. But anyway, thanks for watching. I will stop wasting your time. This video's already been 18 minutes, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I always do this, guys. You can tell I'm obsessed with Mass Effect. Like, you can tell that I'm obsessed with it. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be No Man's Sky. I will cry. I will cry. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the Game Awards. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll watch it after this. But yeah, have a good one. Bye.